If you haven't worked it out already, I'm now doing more of a one-on-one sort of approach to this vlog. My view on sex. It's something that should complement a great relationship, not make it. Not saying it makes everyone else's relationship. It's funny because being gay Christian, one of the most common questions we get asked is,
if you're Christian, doesn't that mean you don't want sex before marriage?
but if you're gay, you can't legally get married. My definition of marriage doesn't necessarily come down to a legal document saying, yes, so-and-so is with so-and-so, this is your new surname, and these are all your new benefits. I think marriage is something that, you know, first and foremost is defined by God, regardless of whether mankind recognises it or not. I think it's important to have God in the conversation, because it can, you know, just be like, I'm comfortable enough with this person, I understand them enough, let's go for it, you know, and then you're doing it for the wrong reasons. I think if you feel guilty after sex, that's when you really need to assess why you feel guilty and work that out and work on that. If it's related to, you know, the gay part of things, then that's a different issue. It's funny how many people, like even Christians, think, oh gosh, I know I'm not going to have sex before marriage, but, you know, what if we get married and then they're just terrible in bed? And that's probably quite a realistic fear. But if you love someone so much that you've got that relationship without the sex to get married, then the sex is just going to complement it and make it even more fantastic. And I really don't think there could be such a thing as bad sex if you had such a good relationship with someone that you marry them without sex beforehand. If there's any evidence that people can get pleasure from pain, you just need to look at chilies, because all they really seem to do is affect pain receptors, and yet people eat them everywhere, and I really don't like them. What I think the main problem is with BDSM, I mean, unless you're really harming someone, is it's more about the power struggle and what it means, you know, because a lot of BDSM stuff is about power dynamics, what the underlying motivation is behind that. But I don't actually know too much about the topic, so like I know people who've done BDSM and had perfect loving relationships, not Christian ones, but you know, so I don't really have an opinion on it. I don't know enough about it, and I certainly wouldn't look down on anyone who was in a healthy, happy relationship and did that sort of stuff in a safe way. I believe in quality, not quantity. I'm sure I could meet many people who are fabulous in the sack, but if I don't have those feelings for them, I'm not interested in that sort of thing. Some people can just do it for fun or do it for someone they feel comfortable with. For me, you know, sex and actually any kind of intimacy is something that I give out very carefully. It's a part of myself that I'm very careful with who I share it with. Why wait? It's fabulous. Dive straight in. You're missing out. Well, you know what? Like, I've never skydived. I've never swum with sharks. I've never run naked through a crowd of footballers at a 10,000 person stadium. Some of those are things I'd like to do in my life. Am I missing out? Yes. Can it wait? Sure. So I didn't announce it last week because I wasn't ready for the world to know yet. I was still dealing with it, but about 2 weeks ago now, I think, I just got out of my 5.5 month relationship with Ali, which was basically because I mean, there was a few different reasons, but essentially because we live quite a distance across town from each other, which wouldn't be a problem except that we communicate quite differently. I need that kind of high level of communication to keep the distance thing, you know, going, and she's the sort of person who will retreat when stuff goes wrong and she needs to deal with it. That's how she deals with stuff. So, which will be okay if we met up in person, because there's a lot you can still read from body language, but like she's got quite a dramatic home life, so and homophobic parents, so meeting up became quite an erratic thing, and because our communication otherwise was, you know, pretty unpredictable, it was just getting too hard to, you know, try and constantly make sacrifices on both our parts to accommodate the way each other does things in terms of communication and stuff like that, and so in the end it just gave out because it was just too much strain. I was actually, you know, other than obviously being a bit upset, I was kind of fine with it, because when the breakup happened, you know, it felt like the strain was being taken off each of us, because we wanted it so much to work that we were making sacrifices constantly for each other in terms of communication. But, you know, when it has to be about something as simple as communication, it's a bit, you know, it's always going to create difficulties. I kind of felt a bit relieved that, you know, things could go back to the way they were, you know, after some time and after we both kind of dealt with it. But she contacted me, not last night, as in the night I just slept, but another the night before that and said that we would never be able to be friends. Pretty much because, not because she hates me or anything, but because it's going to be too painful for her to see me with anyone else. Because it would break her heart. Which really sucks, because if I, never getting to see her again and losing her as a friend on top of the breakup is pretty much going to break my heart. So there's no middle ground where this is going to not be a painful experience. So that just really sucks, and I've just been, randomly bursting into tears in the safety of privacy, but it's just really frustrating that there's nothing I can do about this, nothing I can do to change her mind, nothing I can do to help, because I'm the reason that she's upset one way or another, whether it's out of like or out of needing the distance or anything like that. We were going to meet up next week, but now she needs longer, I think, to, be able to calm down a bit about it all, maybe a few more weeks. And I've been writing her a letter, just detailing, how I felt about the whole thing. So we're going to meet up and she's going to read my letter, saying it all exactly how I want to say it, and then we're going to talk about it. And I expect it to get emotional because, we have to explain how each other felt and how things went wrong and stuff, and also, it's probably going to be the last time I ever see her, so it's going to be highly emotional. So I'm kind of stuck in limbo, waiting for her to be ready and, call the day for us to be able to talk, but I'm not really prepared for it yet. So that's kind of how I'm feeling right now. Kind of just a mixed bag of everything.
Alright, thanks for watching. This is a more serious vlog. We're trying to chop and change them a bit. Yeah. Obviously last week was a bundle of fun, and yeah, we're just trying to keep it relevant and informative, and hopefully you enjoyed it
this week. And tune in tomorrow for Martine, and it's going to be fabulous.
And keep up with the comments, video responses, and topic ideas. And please submit your competition ideas. Alright. Anyway, see you next week.
See you guys.